30 hertz straight up.
Another wonderful episode of Lupus Has No Face, the podcast where we talk about real life, real struggles, and lupus and beyond. I am your host, Savannah Burks of the Lupus Has No Face podcast show with our lovely guest,
I ain't a guest no more.
Luckett.
I ain't no guest
You
no
ain't
more.
a guest no
Like, all right,
more.
just know what's going on, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Lupus Has No Face. This is the special Savannah and Tone episode that we seem to do once a month now.
What? See, you just.
I
you
know.
just bullied-
I bullied you. I admit that.
See,
But that's because I enjoy when we have these conversations, because our off-air conversations, they be really good, and I be wanting people to hear some of the conversations we have, which is why Glamorous Conversations coming soon, because what we talk about, y'all got to hear this. But today's episode is intriguing. You've been teasing the internet with this topic lately on the internet.
yes. First of all, we didn't even tell them what we was talking about. What we're going to be discuss. First of all, we are rescheduling Jimmy,
Okay.
so we have to because they
Due to-
expected Jimmy today. So we are rescheduling Jimmy due to foreseen circumstances. So that is postponed,
Mm-hmm.
and we will be discussing pregnancy in the heat while protecting moms and babies while living with lupus today. And not just lupus, just high risk pregnancies, period. Okay. So that's what we'll be discussing today. And today is going to be pretty unique, anyways, because we're going to be going back and forth with the questions due to he dealt with
High risk pregnancy.
high risk pregnancies with his
Firstborn.
wife, his first two kids.
My firstborn.
His
We didn't- Just the firstborn only.
okay, just the first one only.
Yep.
And I have as well.
Right. So let me start, because this first question. Okay. So
Oh my
I-
gosh.
I definitely had a slew of things that I want to know about you. We talk about a lot of stuff off air, but I never ever sat down and talked to you about going through your pregnancy. So when you presented this topic, I was like, I really got some questions for you. So, being the fact that you have been diagnosed with lupus since you were 14, okay? 12. What were your immediate thoughts and fears when you did get pregnant?
What was my thoughts?
Yeah, like when you first got pregnant with KJ. Shout out to him. If y'all checked out the last episode, he just turned 21. What were your thoughts like when you found, because that was your very first pregnancy, you were really just learning how to navigate having lupus, you were trying to find yourself again, and then boom, one of your new roles is being a mom.
Well, he was planned.
Oh, he was. See, I didn't know that.
All of my children were
You only
planned.
got 2.
All of them were planned.
Okay.
So my thoughts were, because he were planned, it was excitement leading up to it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So
how was that initial conversation?
Well, Dad brought it to me.
Okay.
So Dad wanted a child.
Okay.
Dad asked me for a child. We had a discussion. We were actually at his grandmother's house rest in peace, Hattie, was at his grandmother's house. We was both in Milwaukee. We was here from college.
Okay.
He asked me for a child. So when we was in person, I was like, okay, well, how would that look? Long story short, we made an agreement that he will always take care of me no matter what, because we agreed that when I have his child, there should not be anything that I should never want for her. So I should always be able to get anything that I will ever want for her once, even though we still have this child together. If that makes sense.
So you still want to be spoiled, even though by definition the child is first. No, I'm just asking.
The child will always be first, right? But I was first as well.
That's why I'm asking, and I'm glad you said that, because that tends to become a really big conversation in relationships, because the kid must be put as first priority, but one of the two parents sometimes be like, well, what about me now? Like, my needs now fall to the wayside because we have to put more energy into the kid.
No, we had a whole discussion before we agreed to have the child, we had the child, and he kept his word.
Okay.
Even to this day. So he always kept his word.
Okay. Respect to that man. I met him the other day. That's a dope dude. It's a really dope dude.
Yep. So did I answer your question?
You did. I asked you what were your thoughts and fears, but because it was pre-planned, a lot of those pregnancy fears, I think you guys kind of took it off the table before it even became an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because finding out that you're pregnant for the very first time can be scary. Me and Teresa technically pre-planned Lily, but we didn't. Now with us, because we had been kind of attempting to have kids for a while, we eventually had to go to the doctor, and we had to go get tested. I had to go see if my fishes were swimming. She had to go and check to see things were okay with her ovaries and her eggs and whatnot. And then that's when we found out she had a particular complication in regards to her ovaries and her fallopian tubes. She ended up having a cyst and a pinched fallopian tube. So getting pregnant was a problem to begin with, because any eggs that would come down that particular fallopian tube would cause a level of pain, a pregnancy cramp could not compare to. There's been plenty of times where she was literally on the floor crying in pain whenever she had issues over there. So eventually we getting pregnant with Lily, and she damn near was almost on bed rest for the second and third trimester. Damn near, because they were just that scared that she was going to lose it.
Okay, so, well, you didn't even let me ask you.
I'm
That's what I'm saying. Like, he just owns this show. That
I just answered the same question.
Question.
I'm sorry.
It's rules to this. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's the summertime.
What emotions did you experience when you heard those words, high risk pregnancy?
I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. At this point in time, me and Teresa have been together in one shape or form for about 10 years. We have been literally unprotected that whole 10 years. And then we were actively trying to have a kid at least the last 2 before Lily actually got here. So when we found out that the pregnancy was high risk, it definitely did it sat with me for a minute. I hadn't had no kids. I really hadn't dealt with anybody or tried to have no kids. So for me to decide that I actually want a kid, and being concerned about health conditions, not just for her, but not just for the baby, but for her too. It's a lot of things that was going through my mind, but fear was a big one. Big thing about her family is they were definitely always there. So when she did finally get put on bed rest, I still didn't have to do much because her family was all over it. Because that's everybody's first grandbaby.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Did you fully understand what that meant, or did you have to learn along the way?
I kind of understood what that meant. I do have sisters, and they definitely have had kids. one of my sisters did end up having a high risk pregnancies in regards to that. So I had an idea with it. Now, also, I have a lot of nurses in my family. She's a nurse. Her sister is a nurse. My mom has been a CNA in the past in regards to it. So a lot of the women in my family kept me updated. They kept me on my toes. They basically made me minimize as much stress as possible in regards to it. The doctor's visits were very important. Just literally everybody made sure I stay educated about what was going on. So
that's pretty dope. That's same when it came to my first. They filled in because we were still in college.
Right.
They filled in, and it's not where he didn't fill in because he was never not there, but right. They filled in too. It was just like they was a part of the whole thing. Like
they did the gaps that he couldn't do, but didn't take away from what he was.
It was a little overwhelming too. It was just kind of like, it's like, dang if you do, dang if you don't. Like if the family is not there, it's a problem, and if the family is too overbearing, it's a problem. But it wasn't really a problem. But like I said, because he was the first of everything too, they felt like they could make all the decisions as well. But I was just like, because I always been a high risk pregnancy because I had lupus, and they didn't want me to do anything either. So they had cooked for me and just all of the things, like all of the things. They waited on me like hand and foot, and I miss all of that. They waited on me hand and foot. They understood, and because they understood, he followed suit.
Right.
You know, and because waking up would be just stressful, but I didn't have like, you know, I had to go to the doctor. So I had to go to the doctor like at least once a week because I was high risk pregnancy, and the farther along that I was, the more I had to go to the specialist, just for them to monitor the baby and right. all of the things, making sure everything was growing because he was a twin.
See, I never knew that either.
Yeah, he was a twin, and he's a summer baby. So that's why I did the pregnancy in the heat. He was right. A twin. He was a summer baby, and so let's backtrack.
Wait, Lily's a summer baby. Okay, so fun fact for y'all who don't know that her first son and my daughter actual birthdays are only 2 days apart.
Yeah, July 1st.
Yeah, no, 3 days apart because she's June 29th. So we both have summer babies.
Yep, and so when I got pregnant, I had to tell the doctors that I was ready to get pregnant.
Right.
I had to get off my medication. I had to be off my medications for a certain amount of time. They had to be out of my system because being pregnant while certain medications are in my system can cause the baby to have formalities.
Right.
And we didn't want that.
Right. Because I think a lot of medicines, even just regular over the counter, they put that disclaimer, do not take if nursing or pregnant.
Yeah. So we had to do that. And so during that, and then being stress-free as well, because people like I can get pregnant just a drop of a dime. Like
I don't need you to
getting pregnant is very easy for me.
Getting pregnant
like I'm very getting pregnant is not a problem for me.
I don't need you getting pregnant at a drop of a dime.
Getting pregnant is not a problem for me. So but that was a beautiful thing.
Okay.
Being you know, hearing a baby heartbeat and all of the things, but being a summer baby, and but it took a lot out of me. Having been pregnant in the summer took a lot out of me. But I didn't have any complications being pregnant in the summertime.
Okay. Did you go full term?
No.
Okay.
So I didn't go full term because of my height and my weight. Like my structure, my frame is not big enough or large enough to carry a full-term baby. I have a small frame. So in the medical world, I was full-term, but I didn't go full-term, and I had to get induced because they wanted to control everything.
Everything. Makes sense.
They wanted to control everything. So I got induced, I believe, at 36 or 38 weeks. So everything was planned. It was planned to go in and got induced. I picked the date and all of the things.
Picked their own date.
And I was in labor for 3 days.
Are you serious?
That was horrible.
How are you in labor for 3 days? Like, isn't there a cutoff point where they be like, look, you not dilating fast enough. We just gonna do a C-section?
It was. They said that and they didn't do it. They said they was gonna do it, and I was happy that they was gonna do it, but they did not give me the C-section. I was pissed. I was exhausted. He was exhausted. His
I
family
would be
was
exhausted.
his family was supporting him. They were supporting me. I was crying. I'm like, get him out of me.
I'm
and
exhausted.
He was only
You telling me?
6'7", causing all of that pain. He was only 6'7", causing all of that pain. It was horrible. Like it was so fucking horrible. Like I did not want to have any more kids after that. But they did not give me a C-section. He finally came out, and I was just like,
did you get an epidural?
Yeah, I did get I did get an epidural, but that was exhausting. But I went through a lot after having him, so it was a lot of.
Hold on now, I got some questions. We gonna get into that. You give it too much.
Wait, just okay. Go
ahead. You give it too much. All right, so let's backtrack a little bit because you went to the whole story and whatnot. All right, how did your relationship with your body change when you knew that you were, bringing KJ into the world while you were still battling lupus? Because you already stated you had to get off all of your medications. Mm-hmm. And I know some of your medications, just from you right now, is very important for you to just maintain everyday life while living with it. How was all of that physically for you? Because you had to detox from the medications you had into it. You had to handle every day as is with lupus, and you still had to carry.
To be honest, I had a beautiful pregnancy.
Okay.
I had a beautiful pregnancy. I did not have any complications with him.
But what about you physically? Were you exhausted with your body being beat down? How did you handle him rolling around, kicking you at random points of time?
It was beautiful.
You loved all that.
I was not stressed out with him. Okay. I had the utmost support. I was going everywhere. I did not start showing until the end of my pregnancy. So I carried him very, very well. Nobody really knew I was pregnant. I carried him very well. I enjoyed being pregnant with him.
Did you start showing early with Nole, or was that into?
Nope, I didn't start showing early with Nole either. I posted a picture on Facebook not too long ago, and I was pregnant with her while I was out at the club, and I didn't look like I was pregnant. I didn't show with my kids until I was like literally in my last trimester, like my 6th, 7th month.
Okay.
And then it just pop out.
That happens for some people. Some people, they blow up literally week 3. Some people, you don't find out they pregnant until they now getting ready to have contractions. One of my cousins, I think it was her first kid. She did not know she was pregnant until she was having pains, and they end up taking her to the ERs because she was having these real severe pains and she didn't know where it come from. And they were like, excuse me, ma'am, you are currently going into labor right now. She's like, how? I'm not pregnant. It's like, yes, you are. Her very first child she found out because she was in labor and she never showed. We never knew.
That's crazy. I never understood how people didn't know they was pregnant. I felt my babies in me. Like I just wasn't sure. And the dude, my ex-fiance, and they knew that I was pregnant. They always say because of my face, like kind of got, fat or whatever. My hands get kind of, fat or whatever. But to the public world, like they didn't know. It wasn't like a
right. It wasn't
the man that I was with. They knew that I was, you know what I'm saying?
It's funny because I used to have this gift that I would be able to tell a girl was pregnant before she knew she was pregnant. And I was like, tell them they were pregnant, go about my business. Like 2 or 3 weeks later, oh my God, I'm pregnant. How did you know? What was it? I'm like, oh no, something told me you were pregnant.
I enjoy being pregnant though.
When
I am stress free.
When were you not stress free? Because you keep emphasizing when I'm stress free. When were you stressed in either one of your pregnancies?
When was I stressed in any one of my pregnancies?
Right.
When was I'm just saying, like, if I was to be stressed, that probably wouldn't be a good thing, because being stressed while you're pregnant with lupus can be a very bad thing. Like, um, you can potentially lose the baby.
Yes.
When you're stressed, you can have blood clots when you're stressed with lupus, which can damage you and the baby. You can have multiple ER visits. You can hemorrhage. If you lose the baby, you can possibly not have kids for the future. So then that'll be very bad if you're stressing with lupus, losing the baby, and then not having any more kids. I wasn't stressed with neither one of my kids, but I'm just saying, like, having an autoimmune disease, being stressed while you're carrying, that can be very devastating. And then not having the father there, or if the father is not in the household and you're going through that by yourself, that can be scary, depressing, upsetting. And then your friends not knowing that you're pregnant, and then not having the support of him, or having the support of him and not wanting the support of him because you guys are not together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Having that type of situation going on, that can be very stressful. And a lot of people go through that.
They do.
You know, a lot of people go through being pregnant, wanting a kid, and then when you are pregnant, you don't have that support.
Right.
And that can be very devastating to both of the individuals, I can imagine, because how can I say this? That can be very devastating, right? So you guys are together.
Right.
And then you agree to have a child. And then you guys split apart. And the dad is being an a-hole. And then the mom is like this powerful woman. And she's like, well, I did agree to have this baby, but now that we're not together, I don't want to have this baby because we're not in a 2-parent household. It's not what I agreed to. It's not what I imagined. And I don't want to do this by myself, but the dad still wants to have the baby. So the mom is really battling this because the mom still wants to have the baby, but she don't want to have the baby like this. So the mom has this illness, and it's like, well, if I carry this baby, I could potentially lose this baby and then not have the baby with my husband. Or I can get rid of the baby and then go through the emotions and still kind of live, you know what I'm saying, live my life. But dad is like, I want the baby, or I'm gonna support you either way. You understand what I'm saying? So it's this emotional pull.
It's a real simple answer. I'm not saying what you're saying is right.
Yeah.
Choose wisely. Have those conversations. Have those understandings. Take that thought process. We live in a day and age where my body, my choice is definitely a thing, but the government is even trying to work on taking that away from y'all. So you definitely have to choose wisely who you have a child with, why you're having a child. Because even in that scenario, you have some individuals that, oh, I just want to have a baby. Or they have a baby to keep you. Or they have a baby thinking it's going to fix the relationship. They have children for the very wrong reasons a lot of times. Or let's keep it realistic. You went over, you had a good time with an individual, and 3 weeks later, you get a late text that you got a latex because you didn't wear latex. I'm just saying.
How do we get on this topic?
Because we're talking about pregnancy, and let's be honest, people got to know how babies get here. Okay. But no, I get it. Choose wisely, people. Like me and Teresa, like you said, we were together for 10 years before we even attempted to have a kid, because we wanted to make sure that we were good, sound mind and body. Honestly, Lily did come at a time where it was a lot going on. So for us to plan to have a kid, on one side of the coin, it did feel like it was a selfish decision, because I really told her I really want to have kids. She was in that mindset, was like, no, I don't want to have kids right now. I want to focus on my career. I want to make sure I get further here. I want to establish a few things to make sure that our children grow up with what we don't have, what we didn't have. And I understood it. But then as time went on, And my friends who were they're on their second, they're on their third, they have kids getting ready to go to high school. People who I went to high school are getting closer to becoming grandparents. And like, I'm the one that's married out of everybody and I don't have a kid. So my mindset did get a little bit selfish in regards to it, but we sat down, we had a conversation, we had an understanding of what we were trying to do. Like, this is when I found out what her goals were, why she was against having kids, as well as a few personal things that she told me never to tell nobody in public.
Can we get that exclusive on the Lupus Has No Face show?
You clearly heard me told nobody to say in public. I'll tell you later. I can't say it on air. Look, I'm a man of my word, and my word is I wouldn't tell nobody publicly. I could tell you off air. Okay. But we did plan Alyssa. Now Tiana, on the other hand, Tiana was not playing. She went to the doctor for a checkup. Her doctor came to her. It's like, I got two good news for you. Obama's reelected and you pregnant. That's exactly how we found out about Tiana.
Okay. So okay. We're gonna go, we're gonna
bring it back.
We're gonna bring this back. Okay. So what was your biggest fear during the pregnancy for the high risk? Because a lot of men, I feel like, don't understand, especially when they're outside of the household. But that's how I'm gonna bring it back. So, what was your biggest fear during the pregnancy?
Lucky for me, I was in the household for both of them. So, as most people know, I'm there with my kids a lot of times. I was scared she was going to lose it.
If she was to have lost the baby, what was your thought process?
I would have still been there. To the best of our knowledge, this is not the first time that would not have been the first time she lost one. We feel like she may have been pregnant earlier before and end up miscarrying. And she beat herself down on the one she thought she miscarried because, one, she wasn't taking care of herself. Two, she works a high stressful job because she is like a head nurse in charge kind of a situation. So she was putting work first. At the time, we were still living with her family because the housing market turned upside down on the world. So we were really trying to work to not be in that household situation. So somewhere in between there, we feel like she was pregnant once before and ended up losing it. So she definitely would have been scared. And I know she would have blamed herself if we lost Lily. The fear of possibly having a kid again, she may not have tried to have a kid again. So I definitely tried to be understanding. I tried to be there for her. I know how depression can take over. So I knew that would have definitely got on her in regards to that. It could have fractured the relationship at the time. So if she would have lost it, I definitely would have looked at all avenues to help her get through it. I would have gotten over it, and I probably would have, I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have yelled at God a couple of times, like, dog, why can't I be a dad? I'm a dope ass dad. But luckily Lily was here, so I didn't have to have that conversation with God.
Okay, so I got a scenario.
Okay, go for it.
So like, I'm gonna put me in it. First, I gotta ask the people. For those that have a high risk pregnancy, right?
Okay.
And someone asks you to have a child, and you have a child, and that person is no longer in the household, would you still have that child, and why? Or would you not have that child, and why?
Okay.
Me.
What's your answer?
Me having a high risk pregnancy, and me not being married, I want another child with my husband.
Okay. Understandable.
And I agreed to have a child, and he's not in the household, right? Because I'm just like not tolerating bullshit, right? I ain't tolerating bullshit. So he ain't in the household. And I'm pregnant.
Okay.
And I tell him, and he like happy. And I'm not happy because you ain't in the household. So you ain't going through the emotions with me. So I'm stressed out. You're not here. You're not understanding the capacity of me having an autoimmune disease to where I am stressed out. So now I'm waking up. I have blood clots. I'm sending you pictures like, I'm telling you I'm telling you I'm at the emergency room. Your urgency is not to be in the emergency room with me. You're telling me, oh, let me know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
You're not saying I'm on my way there.
Okay.
You saying, damn, let me know what's going on.
Okay.
That's a red flag for me.
That's definitely a red flag.
Now,
hold up. Okay, keep going because now I got to get into this scenario with you. I'm here now.
You're not saying I'm on my way. You like, damn, let me know what's going on, what I can do. And to me, I feel like that's a boy mentality. Yes, and to me, that's why I'm like on a seesaw, because if I have autoimmune disease and I'm already stressed out, where's my support?
Okay.
I already didn't tell my girls and my people that I'm pregnant.
Right.
And you know that I'm pregnant.
Right.
Why are you not there to support me? Wherever you at or whatever girl that you with, you want this baby, you should be there.
Okay.
So now I'm in this situation to where I want this baby. I'm already emotionally connected to this baby, but I don't have the emotionally support for you, even though you say that I do, but your actions is not showing that I do.
Let me ask you a question now.
So do I keep it or do I not keep it?
First of all, your body, your choice.
So that's why I'm like,
let me back up here. When you let him know that you are now with child, do you give him the opportunity to come back into the household? Because it sounds like, hey, I'm not putting up with your BS. You put him out. You found out this information, but you didn't give the opportunity for him to come back in the household. When you find out that you are now pregnant and you are having a high-risk pregnancy, do you let him back in the household?
He purposely got me pregnant.
If he purposely got you pregnant, once again, are you going to let him into the household now?
Okay, so I'm thinking on the fly. Mm-hmm. So why let him back in the household if he got caught cheating?
Y'all got a kid to raise. You two can work out that cheating shit later. Right now, there's a whole life on his way. So you going to make a hasty decision of terminating your pregnancy because he got caught cheating. Did he get caught cheating before you told him you were pregnant or after?
Before or after?
Because if you told him before, you're not giving him the opportunity to change his life, because he probably did that thinking, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen, we're not going nowhere, and then boom, you pregnant. Oh shit, let me get my life together, I'm gonna be somebody's dad. All that's got to be dead. You're not allowing him to become the man from the boy behavior that he had before. Now, if it happened after you told him was pregnant, hey, where you want me to bury him at? Okay, because now you playing with my godson here, like where you want me to bury him at, because I don't play that. But if it happened before, you got to.
But I think at that point in time in our age group, being the age that he is, now that he knows that I'm pregnant, he gonna feel that he got me, and he gonna sneakily still do it if he's in the household. Well, we gonna pause that. We got Wes. Hey, Wes. She chiming in. What did she say?
I ain't got my glasses on. I can't
that
see it,
girl. What she say?
Hold on. Continue your conversation while I look at it.
I think being the age that he is, he's just gonna sneakily continue to do it, and being a high risk pregnancy, knowing that you can't continue to sleep. And that's another thing, you guys. Being a high risk pregnancy, you can't continue to sleep around with people, because you can transmit things, and True. That's another thing that men don't think about when they're out here cheating, and coming back to you.
Okay, so
what she say?
She said the gift of life is its own blessing. Yes, I would, with or without the father in the home. She basically saying she would keep it.
You would keep the child.
You would keep it, and a lot of moms do that. I honestly feel
like
okay.
I would be on the fence. Hold on, I would be on the fence about keeping a child, because I am at a peak in my life right now. Like I am glowing, baby. I am busting moves. I am closing deals. God is like doors open, doors open, doors open, doors open. And I just feel like a baby being single right now. I know I got a great support system, but I feel like a baby being single right now, I feel like I would miss my blessing of my husband because, and I don't care what people think, but people probably look at me and be like, she been single for all this time, popped out with a baby and single and got a baby. Like that'd be a bad look for me.
No, first of all, let's stop right there. Okay. If anybody is the person who say, what's one of your big things you always say?
I don't care about what people think.
Exactly.
But I still want my husband.
And I feel you on that, and you're not wrong for that. Let's back up because I know this is just a scenario because we're having a conversation.
That be your guy, baby. You have my baby.
He with me all the time. I was like, hold on, let me correct my language. That's my child too. I don't play it. All my godchildren can tell you, look, my goddaddy held it down. Okay. I had a god baby before I had a baby. All right. So and she tell everybody that's my daddy. So don't even worry about that. No, to be keeping a buck with you, let's be realistic about who you are. Okay. Number one, if you have even gotten to that position where you allow a man to be intimate with you, he had to work to be with you to even get there. Okay. So that person is not only just, hey, I got an itch to scratch. You just happen to be the one I decided to give it to. No, this is an individual who earned to be in a relationship with you. Number two, if he stepped outside, that's a dummy to begin with because you put entirely too much work to get this woman. I have been around you for almost 3 years now, and we are friends, and it'd be too much work dealing with you. So for a man to, this is why when I talk to your kids' fathers, some of them like, bro, how did you? And they come to me like, bro, how do you look? And that's all we got to say. But if he worked his way to the point where you allowed him to be in that specific space with you, honestly, I don't think he would be stupid enough to step out on you. And especially, Niggas is stupid, but I don't think he'll be stupid enough. No, that we here now. It's already here. Emotions are flying. When you pregnant, things happen. Okay, so things happen. Things are said. All right, believe me, men and women. I don't think they will be dumb enough to step out unless there was an unreconcilable situation that pushed them to somebody else. Because the way you move, especially if this is your man, because they would have to be your man to be your partner. I've been around you long enough to know that if they not your man, they not your partner. Okay. So if you are pregnant, it is somebody who you have already dubbed your man, and they just 2 steps below being your husband anyway. That's why I asked you, did they cheat before you told them they were pregnant? Because they're going to rectify all that. They worked too hard to get here. So to find out they got your kid, oh, hell no. And they're not going to come in and mess up everything we working on. We got shit to do. So
we got shit to do. So
even if you had a baby, you know what? Come on, little homie finna be at these meetings with us. Little homie finna be at these vending events with us. Look, shout out to Mimi. Mimi is my sister. I love her to death. Her 2 kids is literally grown and one almost grown, and she just now had a son. And when I tell you, Mimi and that baby, they be places. It don't matter. She posted a video today. She was at Potawatomi. Little dog was right there with her. He falling asleep to the sound of slot machines.
I might as well just give me a surrogate.
And if that's what the case, but here's the thing: you do want a kid. Yes, you could get a surrogate in regards to it. You know, you got a strong support system. Period. Everybody in your life is gonna be there for you. Son is gonna love his little brother and little sister. Nole coming back and forth from Texas is gonna take care of it. Cody gonna Cody. Okay, we just gonna say Cody gonna Cody. And then the rest of us, we got you. So if we got to do a whole entire podcast while you got to breastfeed, throw a blanket over them. Let's continue this conversation. Welcome to another episode of Lupus Has No Face. Today we are breastfeeding while talking about this with Lupus.
I love y'all.
Quit playing.
Okay, let's go back on topic.
Quit playing.
Well, this is the first show that we did like this.
It is.
I actually kind of like it. Let me know what y'all think about this show. This is the first time that we did a show like this.
Yeah, we don't.
Let me know what y'all think about this show.
We having good conversations that need to be had.
Okay, I like it. I actually like it.
Okay.
Let me know, Wes. Let me know what you think about this topic.
Yeah, join
And
us next time.
how it's going, because this is new. Okay, so how did you stay emotionally strong while trying to support your partner?
Girl, I wasn't emotionally strong. It was plenty of times I broke the hell down. I ain't gonna lie. I'm the sensitive one between the two of us, right? And I'm not saying that I'm soft. She doesn't show emotions. That was one of the big conflicts. So during the whole entire time, she's a get up, let me get this done, let this needs to be worked. I gotta go here, I gotta go. So a lot of times I had to bring her back. It's like, hey, calm down. You are pregnant, my dear. Sit down. They can wait. They can do this. I had to stay in her ass for a lot of stuff because she would put other needs and people before her own. So I had to always remind her you couldn't. So her needing to be put on bed rest was both a gift and a curse, because the curse was, of course, financially, we took a huge pay cut. You can't be in the office as a nurse, can't get paid. The kind of job she had. So we took a major pay cut in regard to that. But that's when I started picking up a couple of more jobs, and I was doing a lot of stuff. Luckily, we were living with her parents at the time. Yeah. So they also kind of got in her butt. So we didn't have as many expenses, but we had to recover from a few L's we had took. But once she finally started sitting down and just like, chill out, you ain't got nothing to do, it more so was like, okay, I already got a man up, but now I got a man up. Okay. Yeah. Because not only do I have you, I have to take care of. I have Lily on the way that needs to be taken care of. I have your dad looking at me as in how you gonna be, what you gonna do. For my mom, this was her first grandbaby too. So now I gotta go over here and emotionally handle you freaking out, thinking that we trying to keep the baby from you. Like, no. So it was overwhelming. It was draining. I had to basically navigate everything. All I wanted her to do was sit down and just enjoy this moment, because the day that baby come out, and I'll tell you the story about the day that Lily was getting here too. When that baby get here, our whole life is different. Okay, no matter how mad we might get at each other, or how angry we get at each other, we always got to stop and think. All right, but what about for Lily? What about for Tiana? So yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Yeah. When you said when the baby get here, the whole life was different. Like, I never experienced any of that with neither one of my children. And I think the highest, most, like, I never experienced a lot of things that people talk about, not being able to do this, not being able to have this, life being different. I never experienced any of that. Like, I never experienced none of that. Like, I
can tell you why. You are always here's my rules and regulations kind of a person. Because KJ was playing. Before you
was playing.
I didn't get to Nole. Because your children were playing, that means that you had a conversation of what the expectations is going to be, and these expectations must be met or else. You do that in everything in regards to your life. So because you set expectations, you put things on the table, like Lorenzo say, you have your book of who you are that you hand to the person on the other side of that conversation. And if they accept that book, you are going to expect the terms and conditions to always be met. And because those people on the other side of the book says, yes, they were making sure you got everything you need. That's why you said your KJ's dad has always been there. Nole's dad's always been there. All your family has always been there, because the expectations were set, the terms and conditions was accepted, and you don't accept anything less than what you asked for. So you'll never experience anything anybody else has, because the first thing when somebody falls short, even in friendships, because you do this to me sometimes too, hey, you're not doing what you said you was going to do. Why are you not able to do what you're going to do? Now, you're not saying it to be facetious, angry, or me. You need to understand, because if these terms and conditions need to be modified, let me know why. And that's how you actually move at everything in your life. So you've never had to not need or get what you needed when you needed it, because you made sure they know you needed it. And you've never been one of them women be like, well, fine, I'll do it myself. You told me you was going to do this. You said you was going to do this. Do I need to show you where you said? You never going to be one of them, fine, I'll do it myself kind of women. So that's why you don't experience half the stuff people go through. I'm sorry I read you like a book.
Listen, okay, so moving on to being the support system. What did supporting your partner look like on a day-to-day basis?
Making her sit the hell down.
Okay.
Now, and I know I keep saying that, but all honesty, sometimes you got to change roles.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you got to change roles. And I think a lot of times in relationships, people don't realize, look, I'll do the cleaning. I'll wash the dishes. I'll do the laundry.
Yeah.
I'll go pick up an extra job so you can reduce your job in regards to it. I'll take the girls to go do this here. Sometimes the family will come. Granny, hey, I'll take the kids for a couple of weekends. My mom, hey, bring them over here and leave them over here and go do whatever the hell y'all gonna do. Like, sometimes you have to take the load off the other person.
Yeah.
And during the pregnancy, that's when the men need to do it the most. The less you put on her, the better she can be, the better, the happier, the healthier she is, the happier the child is. What the woman goes through while being pregnant actually imprints on the child. All behaviors, thought process, mannerisms, cravings, all that imprints on the child. So if you can make that whole pregnancy as smooth as possible, best believe the rest of your days will be good.
Okay. Hey, Bree, thank you for tuning in. Tom, what you say?
I ain't got my glasses on.
I'll read it. Bree said it was a good read, though. I love that in you, Savannah. Boo. What are you talking about? What was the good read, huh?
Oh, that book of you.
Oh, the book of me.
The book of you.
Bree said need to be hosting master class, Tom.
Look.
I need to be hosting the master
class. No, she's talking about me.
Tom needs to be hosting the master class.
Me. Look, as a fellow Sagittarius, you know when we need to drop knowledge, we'll drop it. But people just gotta listen because they don't want to.
Where were there moments when you had to put your own emotions aside to be strong for her?
Every single day. Hey,
Bree.
One thing about it is no matter how tired I might be, like I could have just got done doing a double at one job or had to go from working for HP heading over to Best Buy because I need to work. That don't mean that I still don't got to come home and make sure she good, rub her back, carry her load, go to the doctor's appointments, drive all the way across the city in regards to it, go out and pick up something that she wants to eat randomly at 2:00 in the morning. Because this is before DoorDash. This is why DoorDash is my favorite friend. Because it be times I could be at work and be like, I want Wingstop here. Imagine pregnant, want Wingstop at 2:00 in the afternoon and there's no such thing as a DoorDash. You got to get up. You got to go get that. You got to go get that Wingstop. You got to get it correct. And then you bring it back. She may eat 2 wings and like, I don't want this no more.
Yeah.
You just got to accept that. That was just money that was gone. Put it in the fridge. Heat it up for yourself later. Whatever. You got to win. I don't care, men. Y'all got to sometimes put y'all egos to the side, y'all feelings to the side, and y'all needs to the side. And that's not even while pregnant. Sometimes even while in a relationship, because a lot of times we think about what we want. And what we want don't matter if they not getting what they need. I stopped hanging out with my friends for like majority of Tiana pregnancy, not because I didn't want to kick it with my peoples, but because this time we wasn't living in the house with our family. We were living on our own at that point in time. So all you had was me unless her family was available. So that made a huge difference compared to the first time with Lily. So I could work 2 jobs because I knew she was at home with her mom, at home with her sisters, at home with her dad. But with Tiana, I was all you had unless they became available. So I did a lot of stuff. I just sit at home, play PlayStation all day, and what you needed, I got.
That's super, super dope. Bree said when he broke down how you move in all relationships. Oh yeah, he was right on. But I told you when you was here Sunday.
Yeah.
I move like that with
everybody.
With everybody. I treat my relationships like I treat my romantic relationships. Like it's the
same.
There's no in between. Like my man may get a little bit with it, but I'm not like one of those girls that have a man and it's just like all about my man, and then I see my friends, whatever, I'll be breadcrumbing them, or my business partners, I'll be breadcrumbing them, and I let that go to the wayside. No, I do my best to equally out like my business, my friendships, and my man, because if me and my man is going on hard times and now I need to talk to my friends, even my friend's going to be there. My friends is not going to be like, oh, she's coming around now that she having a problem with her man. It will never ever be that case, because my friends is going to hear from me. I still keep those dates. I still come around. I still support them. I still do all of the things. Me and my men is going to show up together at your stuff, and my business partners as well. So I've always been that all around type of girl. So
but
I always that's just who I am.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's also nothing wrong with putting your my man situation. But like you said, make sure those other relationships.
I feed my people that's important to me.
Make sure those other relationships are good.
Yeah,
too.
I feed my people that's important to me. I water.
A lot of people do close off certain relationships. I honestly, the biggest relationships I hate is the ones where the significant other doesn't want you to interact with your friends so much.
And that's not a good partner.
That's a red flag.
A partner that want to keep you closed off is not a good partner. That is as a red flag, and that's abuse in a way. If you abuse. Actually look that up, that is abuse.
It's a mental abuse.
It's a mental abuse, and that's confinement too. But that's a whole topic that's another topic for a different episode. What I was gonna say?
You was going back to them questions.
I was going back to them questions. What did you learn about patience during those months?
That I have a lot of it.
Patience is very vital.
It is. I have a lot of it.
Like, for instance, one of my exes. You gotta know when to go above and beyond and be okay with it and have those patience and not complain, right? So my ex, my job is mental. So when he used to come home, I'll run his bath water.
Okay, that's mighty nice of you.
I'll run his bath water. He'll come home, he'll be exhausted or whatever the case may be.
You put the Epsom salt in the water too?
Yeah. Okay. He'll come home. And I'll tell him, I'm like, you have to take care of your body. Your body is your temple. You only get one body. Your body is your temple. I will make him take a bath because he'd do showers. I'll be like, get in a tub. I'll put Epsom salt and do all the things. So I'm like, get in a tub. And I'll sit in there with him. Like, he likes to have my presence. So I'll sit in there with him. I'll be on my phone. He'll be on his phone or whatever. And I'll bathe him. Cute. I'll bathe him while he's in a tub. And
that's sensual as hell.
Yeah, I'll wash his face. I'll wash his hair. I'll wash his beard. I'll care for him because I'm like, you need to take care of your body. Okay. This is self-care. So I'll treat him like I'll treat me, and I'll show him that love. So I know, like, now that we're not together, I left a stain on his brain. He understands, like, the love that I poured into him. Like, you need to take care of you. You need to take care of you. Right. So, and I did that to him because, for one, that's patience.
Right.
2, that's I'm giving you my time.
Right.
3, like, I have autoimmune disease, so you know that I need to lay down. Like, I'm taking time from me that I know that I need to lay down, and I need to be asleep at these time of hours because this time is late. So I'm taking from me to give to you. I'm taking from me to give to. What Bree say? Girl, I need a partner like you.
I was like, I can't see, but I can read what she put there.
Yeah, I waited for him, and I used to be tired, and he wasn't aware, he didn't pay attention enough, and I used to be tired, and I'll do all of these things for him, and he get in the bed, and I'll get him together and make sure he was properly sleep right because his body was his temple. Right. You know what I'm saying? I wash the tub out and do all these things, and I used to be fucking tired. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because that's the patience in me. Right. And in my head, I used to be like this. You know what I'm saying? But it allowed him to rest and work better, and it allowed him to look at. You know what I'm saying? Look at the situation and look at me different. And I used to, and it allowed him to open up his ears too. So sometimes when I used to tell him, about what I have going on in my illness, he didn't understand. But when he used to come to my my events, he understand when I spoke in public, which was weird. So he didn't grasp what I would say to him when we was in the bed together, but he understood when I spoke. Which I didn't understand.
Okay.
Some people don't
I can break it down for you. Okay, sometimes you have to change how the message is being delivered. When you're in a small, intimate moment, he could have received that as here's an excuse for no intimacy. And you could just legitimately be like, this is actually how I feel. This needs to be taken care of, and this needs to go away before anything can move forward. And because the intimacy was being removed, he wasn't listening to what you were saying. He only heard no intimacy tonight. And intimacy could be anything, people, don't mean sex, but intimacy, you're taking that away. But when you're out here and you're speaking publicly and you're educating, you've now taken it out the bedroom and you put it into the boardroom. And now that you're in this public setting speaking on your brand, now it's starting to like, oh, okay, now I see why this situation, when she said this, that makes sense. Or when she said that, it made sense. Okay, I do remember when this happened to her one day, and now it makes sense why this is how she felt afterwards. So taking the need out of it, taking the emotion out of it, and giving it just straight on a mental facts, people can receive better. So that's why sometimes when we're in this public, like on here, we could talk about stuff, people will receive it. But if we were like sitting at a bar having a conversation, it'd be in one ear out the other.
And that's why I always tell people just to read, because I don't never like to feel that I'm vulnerable, because I'm not. But I want people to understand, just for them, so they can understand, like, what I do is a lot.
Right.
Anything that I do is a lot.
Right.
So you should be appreciative. Bree said, yeah, you made me realize that the other day I need to work on my patience. Yeah. Patience is a lot. Like, patience will take you so far.
Sometimes because like I said, I learned that I have a lot of
patience. I love you, Bree.
We love you. Nice. Don't be one-sided here. We both love you.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay, so let me get back to my question.
You need to let me get my answer.
What's your answer? I didn't ask you anything.
You did ask me.
This is why you cannot be a guest on my show.
But yet I'm the most guest on the show, and we have some of the best episodes when we together. So go somewhere with that. No, I was like, this is when I learned with my patients that I have a lot of it, because I still have to not only be a dad and be a husband in regard to everything at that time. I still had to run businesses. I still have to hear people talk about the things that they're going through. I still was doing coaching, not realizing I was coaching. I still had to sell to customers at the time. I was working at HP and working at Best Buy. So I still had to navigate all these different avenues and still be able to be present in all the situations I'm supposed to be present in without having a crash out. Now that's strict discipline, but more importantly, learning how to let shit go. That is not that important.
Yeah.
And prioritize what is important. That's what a lot of people don't have. And I'm glad I do have that. I know how to be like, that's not that important. Because remember when I first met you and we were really starting to work, I said, if it don't affect, if it's still not, if somebody asks you a question and the answer is no, if it doesn't turn into a yes in 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 hours, 5 months, it don't matter. Let it go, because it's not going to bother you. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And I actually lived by that. And I realized I don't get upset about almost nothing anymore. Nothing.
Yeah, I remember you used to be like, what you used to say to me? Because I'd be like, yeah, I don't care.
Right. And I said, if it don't affect anything in the next 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, or 5 weeks, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Because how people treat you is a reflection of how people treat you is a reflection of them.
Yep.
And they hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're going through. The nastiness of somebody is what they are battling themselves. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. And whoever came up with words don't hurt. Words do hurt. Words are nasty, and it does hurt. It really does hurt. But sometimes you got to be like, and you got to let it go. Mm-hmm. But how you respond to is a reflection of you, and it's your grace. You know what I'm saying? And the things that you work through to get there. So sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You can beat somebody down with thank you, being real graceful. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just some nasty people out here. It
some
really
people
is.
are just they hurt.
It really is. So we're gonna talk about. It's okay. So we're gonna talk about the summer heat. How did the heat affect your partner during her pregnancy?
Okay. She does not like being outside when it's hot. She does not like being outside when it's hot. When it's hot, the air conditioner, AC, 2 fans, all will be on, and she has to be cool. I remember when I initially got the job at HP, they flew us to Dallas for training for a whole entire week. So I'm getting ready to leave for Dallas. It was hot outside today when I left. She just on the couch, just looking like a beach whale, sweating, hot in the whole 9 yards. So she could not stand being pregnant during the summertime. She carried Tiana the whole summer for her pregnancy. She hated that with a passion. Okay. Thong sandals and sundresses were her best friend. Okay.
Okay. How did you find yourself changing plans because of the weather?
Okay, this is a universal thing because I even do this with you right now too. But if you pay attention to me, I'm always keeping tabs on what the weather is. I know how hot it's going to be for the next 7 days. I know when it's supposed to rain, how long it's supposed to rain, because outdoor plans are very important for me. I like being outside now. I work indoors all day. So if I can go outside, I'm going outside. Okay. So I always like to keep tabs on the weather, but during the pregnancy, I really had to make sure I keep tabs on the weather, because for somebody who did not like being outside when it was hot, whenever we had to go do something, I had to make sure, do you have what's in the car that needs to keep you cool? Do you have a backup fan? Do we have extra change of clothes just in case you didn't sweat it through everything? Do you have an umbrella? Do you have a large size hat? It's funny because when we first started your podcast, it started in the summer, and some of the first episodes we were talking about how to keep cool in the summer.
Yeah.
Also, if you check out the latest edition of the Butterfly newsletter, we're actually talking about different ways to stay cool in the summer. So if you don't got that, hurry up and get that, because it's dope. We worked hard on it.
Yes.
And I noticed like a lot of things that you require, that you have to have as somebody dealing with lupus, it's the same things we made sure she had in the summer. Having that folding chair, because we can be just going to the park and you may need to sit down for an hour because this baby is doing too much. Okay. Having that chair with that umbrella in regards to it, making sure you got something that's cool to drink and healthy at the same time. So you couldn't just be drinking anything. We have to make sure you got your probiotics in regards to, you got your iced tea, you got your lemonade, you got your bottles of water. We have to make sure everything was good, because with Tiana this summer, we didn't play.
Okay, you made sure she was good. That was good. It's so good when a man makes sure you're good and you're pregnant. Like, I was so spoiled when I was. I'm spoiled when I have a man. Right, I'm spoiled when I have a man. Period. And I'm spoiled when I don't have a man. Like, I got some great friends. Y'all, my friends are great. I love y'all. Like, I really, really love y'all. I really love y'all. But having great friends, that means I'm a great person too. So, shout out.
You look up spoiled in the dictionary. Her picture is there.
What were some things you did to help keep her comfortable and safe?
Go back to just what I had. I made sure everything that was needed was available, whether it was near her or that they were there. Like you say, when you were pregnant, you would ask for certain things, and these are requirements. And this is actually a part of me now too. Like, when I know people are going through things, and if you are my peoples, I always make sure you have what you need. With her, I always made sure her Arizona iced tea, mucho mango style, because that was her favorite drink when she was pregnant. She had that. It was readily abundant. When she was pregnant with Lily, she had this pickle kit. Made sure there was always jars of pickles in the fridge in regards. So I don't care if I'm just going to the corner store to get me a soda, I'm buying a pickle in the bag. It's like you getting everything you need. I made sure she had infinite supplies of flip-flops, because she stopped wearing regular shoes altogether when she was pregnant. Whatever she needed, I made sure she got it. And I didn't just stop that. Like, once the baby was there no more, you're not getting your needs. I still made sure that certain things were still there that she needed, because you still got postpartum to worry about. With her having a C-section,
you got to stick to the question, Tom.
I had to make. I'm asking the question.
Stop going above and beyond. I need you to ask the question.
And I was answering it like you said, making sure she had needs.
And beyond.
So I made sure she had her pillow. Make sure she had her pillow. Look, people with C-sections know how important that pillow is. I made sure she had her pillow. That's all I was saying. Look,
behave.
I am behaving.
You're not.
I'm that dude.
So the aftermath, since you going,
that's why you stopping me, because I'm going past your question.
Too much. Just answer the question.
I answered it.
How did your role change once your partner came home?
It didn't really. It was actually more prominent. Like I said, with Tiana,
So it was the same thing.
it was the same thing. Lily,
Okay.
I didn't have to do as much because we were still in her mom's house, and everybody would actually, I lied. We only still stayed with her mom for about a year. After that, that's when we moved into our own place and getting the house together while taking care of Lily, while helping her get reacclimated to get ready to go back to work. I did take on a lot of responsibility. She worked third shift at the time when both of them were young. So come 10 o'clock, it's all daddy. So the whole night routine and morning routine, that was all me.
Okay.
It was all me.
So looking back, right, if you could go back and tell yourself one thing before the pregnancy began, what would it be?
Give yourself your me time.
Yep.
Give yourself, as the dad, give yourself the me time too, because you have to unpack what's going on. You have a whole other person. You already committed to this woman. So you already got your, till death do us part to having a whole, you got to do all that sickness and health. This is the sickness part, but you still got to give yourself me time. Unpack your own stuff. You carrying a lot on you. Stop, breathe, give yourself something to keep yourself occupied. If you know that you have a high risk pregnancy person, a lot of your outside activities are going to stop because you got to be there for her at any given time. So find you something to do to give you your own me time while you're in the home. You don't got to be up under her all the time. You don't got to hover her, because Teresa hated that, where you was all, you okay? You good? You need anything? No, just be nearby, but allow her to still be here, and then find you something to do.
Absolutely. Bree said that part, Savannah, we attract what we put out. Most definitely. Like, I am a good person. I got my flaws, but y'all know what my flaws are, and y'all accept that. And I love y'all for that. I am going to say me time, because even to this day, though, like, pregnant or not pregnant, I have some beautiful people around me. I still do have some beautiful people around me. And even when I was in a hospital, pregnant or not pregnant, my mate and my friends, I wanted them to like go. Like when the medicine make me sleepy, or if I'm asleep, I want you to, like, I used to tell my man, my exes, go play some basketball, go on a game, like go forget about me for a second. Like, I'll call you,
right?
Because I want your your I can't say it. It starts with a T, to go down. I want it to go down, and I want you to breathe, and I want you to relax, and I want you to forget about me. So when you come back, you got the patience, and you got all of that for me, and I can drive you crazy again, and you can be like okay with me. You know what I'm saying? You can be okay with me. So go do what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Go outside the house, go do what you gonna do. So I was okay with that. And I used to tell my exes that, just answer the phone when I call. Because they do need that. They need to forget about what's going on in the house.
Right.
And even I knew that. And even when I took care of stuff, I did that. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That's very important that you have me time. And even in my field today, I tell the family members, like, go do something.
Right.
Like, get out of here. Go have a drink. Go do something for you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you live to die.
Right.
Okay, that's what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So
right.
You just sitting around here, it's not going to change what it is at this moment. It's not going
right.
to change. So you go take a shower.
Please go take a shower.
Go to sleep. Go do something for yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can come back refreshed.
Right.
So me time is very important, whatever that may be. It's not selfish. Go be selfish.
Go decompress
for a little bit, but don't be selfish to not do something. Some people are some selfish assholes, and that's not there, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh my.
So what advice would you give couples preparing for a high-risk pregnancy?
This is universal, high-risk pregnancy or not. Communication. Talk about everything. Don't leave nothing on the table. But communication is not just only about what you telling your mate, it's what you're listening and learning and hearing from your mate as well too. Make sure that whatever is being conveyed is understood. Your body as a woman it's precious. You're bringing life. Okay, us men, we can't do that. So you need to convey to us everything you're going through, what you're experiencing, how certain pains are. Talk to us like you would talk to your doctor, but a little bit like more sensitive, because your doctor gets it, we don't. And men, listen, don't assume that she's having a moment or she's in a mood. It's like, no, hormones are all over the place, and that's not as a negative thing. That's just natural. Hormones are all over the place. Body is changing. Insecurities can be high or low. Just like when a person is on drugs, the real version of them comes out. For a woman, sometimes the real version of them comes out during the pregnancy. Whereas in the level of emotions, the unnecessary crying, the cramping, the swollen ankles, the face being swollen, like they're going through a lot because you wanted a kid. Okay? Give them patience, give them grace, communicate, understand. Things are going to be different. Learn together. Do your homework, nigga. Okay? I'm sorry, I apologize. I forgot what show I'm on. But do your homework. Learn about what your woman is going through. Learn about why she's a high risk. If you are a person who do have an autoimmune disease, learn about what's different with an autoimmune disease pregnancy compared to a normal high risk pregnancies, because the complications may vary. You know, learn how your woman is going to behave now that she's no longer on these medications. Yeah, you should learn how she is without her medication anyway, but now learn what to expect in regards to it. Communication, education, sympathy.
Thank you for that. I would have liked it for you to speak. I would have liked for you to speak more so on the man side, because I was going to speak on the woman's side.
You can still speak on the women.
Yeah. So what he said, in addition to reading, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to read to my ex. I used to read to my ex.
Okay.
I used to show YouTubes, because men are visual learners. I used to show on my body, you know, what I wanted to ask or what he wanted to ask. We would go into the doctor and I would ask the very questions that we had, and I would let the doctors to explain and talk to him. I'll say, talk to him like a 5-year-old, because sometimes men feel when you are saying something to them, they just don't believe. Sometimes I don't understand why men operate like that. Men don't believe their woman, or they don't understand, or they just don't hear you. So sometimes it gotta come from somebody else that wears a coat. I don't get it. I don't understand. My ex is like, me being a nurse, I have a very strong background, and I don't understand. But they listen to a doctor with a DR behind it. Cool. I'm cool with that. So, and I know that. So I'll bring them like, listen, I said the same thing. Can you please tell him? And they'll tell him the same thing. And as long as he got his answer, I'm cool with that. And I'll show him the difference. Like, babe, look, my feet swollen today. And I'll take my finger and I'll press my ankle and I'll show him, the indentation, like, how it's swollen. So it goes in and it comes out.
Right.
Yeah, and being patient, with us or with me or whoever that you're with, and understand that the sun takes energy.
Right.
The sun take energy out of me anyways, with me being well. So now that I'm carrying your child, I need you to understand, babe, we can go hang out. We can go on this trip, but understand, I'm gonna need a little extra. I'm gonna have to leave you a couple times to do a little extra. I need more water. I need some more fute. I need you to pay about $300 for this thing that we need to be under, because I can't be in this sun with this hat. It ain't gonna do much for me. I need to be fully covered this time. You know what I'm saying? We need a little extra more dough. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk to them, and they gotta understand. They gotta want to understand. And I feel like that come with love.
It does.
I feel like that come with love, and I feel like that come with caring. And I feel like a man gonna understand what they want to understand. And if a man is not in the relationship for the right reasons, he's not gonna want to understand. Nope. And that's first thing first. A man gotta love you, and a man gotta like you. And if they and it goes deeper on the surface, because if he doesn't love you and he doesn't like you and he doesn't care about you, none of this is going to matter. He's not going to care about your illness in the first place anyways. So let's just start there. And if he doesn't want the baby, oh baby, he ain't gonna care about none of this. So you got to make sure you having a baby with somebody that wants this baby. That's two.
There's a lot of women that need to hear that.
You understand what I'm saying? So don't be having a baby with a man that don't want. If you mistakenly get pregnant, your body, your body, you know what I'm saying? You can do what you want with your body, but understand, if you having a baby with somebody that don't want this baby, understand that you're gonna be alone, and understand the pressure that you put on that man. Even though that's he should step up, but you can't make nobody do nothing that they don't want to do. And understand, while you're pregnant, he don't have to do anything until that baby come out. So you may be alone in a lot of this situation, and that's going to cause stress on you unless you detach yourself from this man and heal yourself and have a healthy pregnancy and not lose that baby. So a lot of this stuff goes along with carrying a healthy baby while you're pregnant with an autoimmune disease. So you really got to be really mindful who you land up with, and you got to be really mindful about the decisions that you're making when you're having a baby with somebody. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand too, they family matters. You know, you got to know what you get yourself into when you're laying down with somebody. Like, all of this stuff really actually matters. You know what I'm saying? So all of that takes accountability. Should I say accountability?
It does.
Yeah, all of that takes accountability into this baby that you having. You know, all that can cause stress, because if he comes from a dysfunctional background, then that's coming back on you too.
Also medical, let's not forget about that.
Yeah, what he's carrying. Exactly. You know, if he's dealing with a mental illness, you know, them flare-ups and them episodes that he may have in, that can cause a lot of stress on you too, honey. Right. So you may want to do your research before you land up with this person unprotected. You understand what I'm saying? So that goes a lot into this when you have autoimmune disease yourself. So it's some homework that you have to do on your own too, so you don't be stressed out and cause yourself to be, you know, going through this pregnancy stressful by yourself. And if you do, you're gonna have to do the work and be carrying this baby healthy, or you're gonna have to make a decision,
especially that medical side,
on your own.
Just because he look okay, that don't mean autism. Autism may be in his family. Sickle cell trait may be in his family. There may be genetic issues that are going on that the grandparent may have that you never knew. Y'all got to start doing homework on who y'all going with. Like
it matters. We too grown. We too grown for this. These one night stands and want to be hot girl summers and all of this. No, our body goes through a lot, and you know, we go through the wrong thing, we can potentially damage our wombs and never have children again. So we're gonna give y'all some homework, okay? Because we totally are over time. I normally don't go over an hour. So we definitely will answer these questions. So for you guys, what does showing up consistency look like? How can partners become better advocate during doctor's appointments? What does unconditional support look like when someone is physically limited? What would you say to a man who thinks pregnancy is just something women goes through? Okay, we will respond to those questions, and we're going to close out with this question. If one father, husband, or partner is listening today and feels unprepared to support someone through a high-risk pregnancy, what words of encouragement would you leave him with, Tom?
Okay, let me make sure I heard you correctly. If there's somebody who's currently dealing with a significant other who's pregnant and they're a high-risk pregnancy, what words would I leave them?
What words of encouragement would you leave them to it today?
Okay. First of all, it takes two to make a baby. So handle your responsibilities and man up. And I don't mean just man up about getting out here, making sure the bills is paid and there's a roof over the head. I mean, man up in regards to supporting your woman. She is creating life. She's creating your heir, your extension. You need to be there for her and that child as well. Your presence matters so much you don't even realize it. As an individual who grew up without his father immediately in his life, the simple fact of you being around can make the biggest difference of whether you got yourself someone who is in and out the prison systems or changing the world. Make sure you are present in every shape and form in regards to that. Let that petty stuff go. Let all that small, petty, problematic stuff that two adults can talk their way through go, and be a father, be a man, be a support system. Even if you and that woman are not going to be together, that don't mean you get the right to disappear. Still be there, still be supportive, still be that individual that you told her you were going to be before you even created this child. Oh, and go to therapy, because you got to learn how to be a dad. Go get some help. Also, I do coaching sessions too. Sign up now.
Yes, he will put that in the link. Also, I'm gonna add on to that. Understand where you came from, who you were as a child, that you did not have a choice. You are grown today, and that is not who you are today. As a child, you did not have a choice. You have a choice today. Please stop using I was brought up that way. I was raised that way. That is not who you are today. You are a different human being. All that stuff shaped who you are. And if you come from a dysfunctional household, the goal is to not become that and live that. We are here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Please go to Lupus Has No Face. And while you're there, like, share, and subscribe. I am a life and wellness coach. I am taking new clients. Please go ahead and purchase my book and my journal on Amazon for faster shipping. Please go to www.lupushasnoface.com. You can go ahead and book a free consultation at SNA Coaching. We are accepting new clients. And please do answer those questions and we will respond back. It was lovely seeing all of my supporters. Until next time, see you soon.